Hello and welcome to Brewer Territory. I'm your host, Kurt Hogue, here alongside my pal Corey Knable, National League All-Star, Corey Jackson Chourio.
Yep.
He is back, and actually, you know what? So are we. Before we get into the talk, like and subscribe. It's good to be here.
Hey, nice.
Hammer the subscribe button. I've been getting to it too late. We want you to subscribe. Sorry, we appreciate you being here. Please hit that button as well, guys. Jackson Chourio, Corey, back, all the way back. Can't have much better of a first game back from that, pretty gnarly hand injury where your finger had a finger fracture, got on base 5 times in 5 tries, hit the ball over 100 miles an hour. All 4 times, 2 doubles. Could have been 2 homers if he hit it about 2 feet higher, 3 feet higher, both times. I don't know. Center field there is kind of maybe a little deeper, not necessarily straight away, but a little bit to the alleys. A tad. An incredible performance. Obviously, the Brewers not an incredible performance the rest of the way. They strained a village and lost 6-3. Didn't get the big hit until it was far too late when Bryce Terang homered in the top of the 9th. But were you at all surprised to see how good Jackson Chourio looked right off the bat? Just coming straight off the IL and scalding the baseball?
Especially when we didn't know if he was going to be coming back right then, right? I mean, there was talk that it was supposed to be a couple days delayed because of the ball off the foot. And I mean, he comes in and look at that. 109, 102 is his slowest exit velo. The balls were crushed, and I don't think anyone's expecting that, right? No one's expecting a 4-for-4 day out of him. Great OPS, by the way, for the guy.
Great OPS. Perfect OBP.
Yeah, that was impressive, man. It was impressive to watch, and obviously, really good to have him back in the lineup, and hopefully that starts kind of snowballing for everybody to see, hey, it's Chourio's back, take a little pressure off of everyone, and let's get that bottom 4 and 5 starting to get a little hot now.
Yeah. If you look at the right-hand column, too, if you're watching on YouTube, it's his bat speed. If you're listening on the podcast, let me read those numbers to you. They got the little lightning bolts by it, too. That tells you that's good. And he was swinging it fast. 77.2, 75.7, 76.8, and 81.7. His first inning double. His first contact he made was 82-mile-an-hour swing. That's got to be toward the top end of his range in his career. So that's an encouraging sign for sure for a guy who's coming back from a broken hand, essentially a broken finger on his hand. Like with Vaughn, I think that's the question as he comes back from the hamate bone surgery is the bat speed going to be there right away? Is he going to be able to swing the bat as fast? Does the power come back right away? And Pat Murphy talked yesterday pregame about how Andrew Vaughn's a hitter first, and I think we can overlook his hit tool when we think about the power. So hopefully he'll be able to, to maybe balance out if he doesn't have the power right away. But Jackson Chourio, Corey, has the power right away, and that, like you sort of alluded to there, hopefully is the thing that changes this Brewers lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you would hope so, man, especially having him up the top. Look, you still got Yelly out, which, it's
a big deal.
I mean, it is a big deal, but if we could have Chourio coming up with guys on, which, I mean, yesterday was tough for Mitchell with over 5. So when you don't have guys getting on base for Chourio to hit him in, that's where the game is, right? He's getting these hits with no RBIs, and it's up to Bryce after that. Chourio's on now. You need Bryce to go 4 for 4 so we can start getting some runs in, and then Contreras needs to hit him in too. So, I think that obviously if you can get the top 4 and 5 hitters to start showing up, which, I mean, we're getting there, man. We're getting there, but that's the game right now.
Yeah, the Brewers not the top 3 in the lineup necessarily, but their 3 best hitters. I mean, that stacks up with a lot of teams. Chourio, Terang, and Contreras. Obviously, it was not Contreras' best night. Kept coming up with guys on base, guys in scoring position, and did not come through. But he's been hot of late. Let's talk a little bit about the lineup construction. Sometimes it's difficult to know exactly how much it matters. It fluctuates from game to game sometimes. Like if the Brewers had constructed their lineup a little differently yesterday,
Yeah.
not saying they should have, there's any way to know that you should have, but you say you've got Chourio hitting after Terang and hitting after Sal, who got on a couple times. Suddenly he's coming up with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
Or he crushes one. So it's impossible to know. But what do you like? How would you shake this out with the guys the Brewers have available on most days? Like where you're hitting Chourio, where you're hitting Terang, when you hit Contreras.
I mean, yeah. And what, of course, what you're saying too is if they're in a different spot, well, then they're going to be pitched differently too. It's not going to be the same. So like, look, you got Mitchell at the top, and I feel like every team is in their mind thinking, go after Mitchell, right? Go after Mitchell because we cannot have anyone on when Chourio and Terang are coming up. So it's go after Mitchell. And then, now you got one out with Chourio coming up, and now it's, okay, we got to go after Chourio. Well, that's great for Jackson, okay? Because then, you don't want anyone on with Terang coming up. But, I mean – look, if it starts off, obviously I love having Terang at the leadoff spot. I think him or Chourio really are a great leadoff hitter. Both still quick too. Obviously Mitchell's a little faster than them, but I'd love to see with Terang, Chourio, and then Contreras. And then you start bringing in your power hitters with Bowers and Vaughn and go on from there. Even Sal, like you said yesterday. I mean, Sal's been struggling as of late, but I mean, he still has some pop every now and then. So, and he gets on base, and so does Hamilton. I mean, he was having a great stretch at the beginning, and now obviously same thing. It's kind of cooled down, but I think Hamilton's great down there at the bottom. I think him and Rengifo down at the bottom try and turn over the lineup. That's what we got to get a couple more. We need that bottom of the order to turn the lineup over and get on base to get somebody, getting that opportunity. So, I mean, right now looking at it, dude, the lineup is great without Yelly. This is without Yelly. This is what our lineup should look like.
It is still a good lineup. We'll see how the results end up playing out. But the lineup on paper tracks. I kind of thinking about it. I don't mind the lineup from yesterday.
Yeah.
Like Terang theoretically gives Chourio. I mean, and another thing we saw with Chourio too is we saw great plate discipline. He swung once out of the zone on like 12 or 13 pitches. He saw 11, 13 pitches, or whatever it was. He saw outside the zone, so he wasn't chasing. Good plate discipline,
which is what we talked about.
And if you funnel it into the zone with him, that can change things. And I think Bryce Terang hitting behind him maybe provides just a little bit of a thought of, okay, let's I can't try to make this guy chase too much. I'm going to try to funnel in the zone a little bit with him. And then also with Garrett Mitchell leading off, he has drawn his walks this season. He's going to strike out way more than you want from your leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
But also him hitting leadoff theoretically is going to give him fewer opportunities with guys on base than if he's hitting fifth. And then that's when the strikeouts really come into play. And then the flip side of that too is, do you want to bring in a lefty for that at bat? They'll flip it with Lockridge, or maybe Gary's on the bench and you can flip it with Gary. And then, guess what? Here's Chourio. You don't want to bring in a lefty for him. So it just gives them some more options. And it is kind of wild to think of how one guy, it's literally just Jackson Chourio being back, can kind of change the dynamic of the strategy of how guys are pitched to. And look, we saw it last night, man. This guy's getting balls in the zone that he can hit.
Yeah.
He's
dangerous.
Going to hit them hard. And so, it was not a good night for the offense. They went 1 for 11, maybe 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to happen in baseball.
It is. But obviously, giving up 6 runs is not ideal either. It's tough to score 6 runs, so if you're giving up 6, we got to keep that down. So
it's just not a great night for the Brewers. The bullpen gave up a couple there at the end that kind of put it out of reach when the Brewers were still trying to stay in it on offense, you could tell, but ultimately down 5. too little too late. Let's get into the pitching here in a second from the series opener in St. Louis. But first, a word from our sponsor of today's show, Mint Mobile.
We don't always have to do things because that's how it's always been.
Look, people consider me old school, and I thought I was, but then we had the pitch clock and the ABS and ban on shifts and all these things that we've had for a long time in baseball. And you know what? Much like Mint Mobile and the other mobile carriers, I'm here for the new school and the changes that have been made.
It's a good call. You can ditch overpriced wireless. You don't have to say, oh, I'm paying that, because that's how it's always been. Get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/territory. That's mintmobile.com/territory. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Get after it, FT fam.
All right, Corey, let's get into the pitching from Monday night's loss. Chad Patrick took the mound, got the start, only made it 3 1/3 innings, gave up 4 runs. I want to say, like, from a pitch count standpoint, quick hook, 64 pitches, but you can see what the plan was there, and maybe something a little telling. I don't know what the plan was too. We'll get into that here in a second once I lay a little more of the groundwork for where Chad Patrick stands right now. His ERA is 3.45. That's fine. That's good.
That's decent, yeah.
Let's open the hood of the car up a little bit. StatCast has his expected ERA at 4.58. His fielding independent pitching is 4.23, which, again, it's not bad. He's 12th percentile in all of baseball in strikeout rate and 24th percentile in walk rate. That's not a good combination. Not enough strikeouts, too many walks. We've talked a little about why he's not putting guys away, even though he's getting some whiffs. We saw that last night. 27th percentile hard hit rate and 12th percentile ground ball rate. He's never been a real ground ball guy, even though he does have the sinker. So it hasn't looked as easy and hasn't been as consistent as it was to start last year, I guess. And we saw Pat Murphy give him the quick hook. They're down 4-0. The game is, I don't want to say it's over by that point. It's obviously not, but you're most likely going to lose a 4-0 game. I think you kind of saw this a lot of time, when you played under Craig Counsell, is like 4-0 game. Corey, you're probably not getting warm.
Yeah, I mean, 4-0 game, starters in the third inning, like, usually it's
you're going to try to get maybe a little, like, stretch a little more length out of him.
Yeah.
You're
going to get a little more in there.
And the Brewers, Pat Murphy did not do that. It felt like he had sort of seen enough. And I mean, the plan coming in probably was, okay, we're going to get to this point the third time through the order, get through Herrera, who hit the big double off of him, turn it over to some of the lefties in the bullpen, depending on the situation. And that happened far earlier than they wanted. So the question I have, and we can discuss this, is Chad Patrick better suited right now for the bullpen? Or do you think he should stick it out in the rotation, both like immediate future and maybe like a few weeks or so down the road?
Yeah, I mean, look, right? We saw yesterday what you talked. He threw 4 slurves yesterday, okay? And I mean, he hasn't really thrown many slurves all season. We're probably seeing 4 to 5 max per game anyway. And I think that at this point, we see the ERA is, still a 3.45, but I mean, I think it's time, man. Let's start throwing the slurve. It's tough for a starter to just be, a fastball guy. You got 3 different fastballs. There's not a lot of John Lester anymore. I mean, there's not a lot of Lesters anymore. And Lester was locating every single fastball that he threw.
And he also had a breaking ball, like either curveball.
He had
a
breaking
right?
ball. It was a show me pitch, but he didn't throw it that much. But I mean, Patrick yesterday, he had a couple that were located, a couple great cutters located yesterday, but then I also saw a couple that, sailed away from him. And that could be St. Louis. It is always hot and humid there. And, you could see he's drenched. But he always is. He's used to throwing in high humidity. He's always it looks like he's a high sweat guy. So, no, I mean, I think that, look, right now it's time to look at something and say, look, we got to make a change. Whether that's in your bullpen sessions, look at the slurs. Let's start throwing the slurs more, get a couple more swings and misses. You had 2 swings. Where's the swing and misses? I never
on the right side, the whiffs. Yeah,
the whiffs 0%. So
yeah, only threw 4 of them. Got 5 whiffs on 14 cutter swings. So like, again, if you look at this total whiff rate, 30% whiff rate, that's pretty good. That's gonna get you some, like, I mean, for perspective, Miz's fastball is like, it's gonna sit around 40% this year. So 30% is that's gonna get you some results.
But it's finishing. It's
finishing
the hitter. It's finishing him off. He was he was getting to 2 strikes on majority of the hitters, but he's not finishing. You're getting to 3-2, and then you're going from your pitcher's count to a hitter's count now. So I think it's, being able to finish off the hitters, mixing up that slurve a little bit. No one's expecting it, especially when you're throwing 4 out of 65 pitches. No one's expecting you to throw the slurve that often. And
no one's expecting it,
pitch too. So it's not like it's a terrible pitch. Maybe let's start perfecting that. And otherwise, I mean, if it's a confidence thing, if he just doesn't feel that slurve, then all right, get him to the pin and start working there. I mean, we got other guys in the pen that can start.
So it sounds like you are open to anything, but maybe want to like see him try it out still in the rotation, like not give up on that right now.
Yeah, right. Because from what we're seeing is that obviously if Murph's already got that quick hook going to the 3rd time around, then there's also something going on between them. Maybe it's all right. Hey,
where he doesn't have the full trust.
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't feel confident with him getting to the 3rd time through the order, which
and that's certainly the case. Like, we can't, based on what we've seen with how they use him, and his pitch, his pitch mix too. That is, that's been the case. There's no way around that.
But it's also a lot of Brewers stuff too. I mean, that's why we have such a good bullpen. Is that I've always seen it with the Brewers. We always want our starters to get to that 3rd time through the lineup. And then the first sign of trouble, usually, hey, if we got the lead, we're getting in the big dogs and we're winning the game. So that's why we have one of the best bullpens in the league. So obviously when you're giving up 4 runs and you're down 4-0, well, now you can't get to the big dogs. Now you got to hope, okay, you can either finish out that 3rd time through the lineup, maybe get 4 or 5 innings, or let's get the other guys to come in and still the other guys are still dominant. You still got Drowan, Hall, Anderson, Woodford, who's been dominating too. They've been having great years so far.
So where I kind of land on this is, to me, it feels like right now what would be best for the team and the player is bullpen. Chad Patrick with the 3 fastballs and the velo. The velo's been up as a starter this year too. I mean, he was sitting 94, 95 with his sinker and 4-seam last night. Like, we're seeing those pitches get the whiffs. We're just not seeing the consistent execution. And clearly something is up where they don't feel confident enough in the breaking ball right now. That's fine. You can get away with it in much different usage as a reliever as well. Like
100%.
Even, plays up if you want to throw it 3 times, 4 times in an outing. But the problem is what's the trickle down? Like, does Drone replace him in the rotation? Possible. We kind of talked. We like what he provides right now in the bullpen. I think you could probably make a pretty solid case though for Drone to replace him.
Yeah.
Woodruff is gonna, he's gonna miss at least 15 days, probably more, because he has taken time off throwing, and that's going to take more time to build him back up as well. Is it Robert Gasser? He's been kind of dealing with a little bit of like a tricep thing at AAA. Is it Coleman Crow? I don't know if, he looked great in his start. I don't know if he's proven enough to like make that big of a switch with Patrick. So it is a tricky decision. I don't think get the sense the Brewers are ready to, jump ship on Chad Patrick as a starter quite yet.
Okay.
But it's worth following because the results and the execution just haven't been there, even though some of the underlying stuff still tells you he can get there because he's getting swing and miss.
He can.
And we've seen him execute.
That's what it boils down to, too, is, execution, but also it's, look, you got to have the results. We got to see it. Like, I know we saw it last year, but it's also, this is a different year, and what we need is results right now. We need to see, we've seen a couple. We've seen a few starts where, hey, this is the Chad Patrick that we remember. But at the same time, look, you're talking about Drowan, and I know he started for a while in his career in AAA, but he's also proven to be pretty good. I think, when he came in as when the Woody situation happened, and then we brought in a little bridge guy, and then so it was basically like he had an opener. Yeah. He was very successful in that. He thrived in that situation. So that's the only thing to me is maybe seeing Drowan as this bullpen guy, as getting an opener. Give this man an opener and go. See what he can do. Or, you know what? How are we going to know until we see it? If you want to put Drowan in the starting rotation, give him a start, see it. Maybe switch him and Patrick one outing, let them bridge between each other. Then let's see what happens. So that's got to be something, obviously, I think that both of them need to agree on. But you know what? No, Drowan's young.
Do they have to agree on this? This isn't Brandon Woodruff.
I don't think that's different guys. I think what Murphy says, that's what they will do. So
they will have to do. Yeah. I could see the next start being sort of maybe a catalyst for something.
Yeah.
Because they have tried the opener with Chad Patrick, and it just doesn't seem to go great. Maybe that's a small sample, but he's done it a couple of times, and he hasn't, spoken glowingly of coming out of the pen, and the results haven't been great for either him or the opener struggling. I think at those games didn't help either.
Yeah,
so
that also didn't help.
But the point being, they've tried some different things, and I don't think they're at a decision point or anything yet. But then again, Corey, the Brewers are they kind of always at a decision point when you're a pitcher and you're not producing at the big league level?
Yeah, at that point, that's where they always try and figure something out. They try and move you somewhere. It's, hey, if you're not producing in the starting rotation, then either we move you to the pen or send you down to AAA, send you to the lab, figure something out, figure out what's going on, like they did with Burns. And Woody also, he was kind of back and forth in the beginning of his career. Freddie Peralta was as well. So it's and then once you figure it out in the pen like that, this could be the best thing for Patrick, right? If he does move to the pen, maybe it's something where he figures it out and then bring him back into the rotation. So the Brewers are always experimenting with stuff.
A lot is on the table as they move forward with that spot in the rotation. That will be it for us on today's show. Again, please score like, please subscribe.
Yes.
Hit that button. And we will. Oh, you got something?
I forgot I had something.
You got something.
The City Connect shoes. I wanted to talk about those real quick, man.
Yeah.
Those look.
The floor is yours.
The floor is mine. Those. If anyone who's watching this show is willing to go get a pair of those City Connects and wants to give their pair up to me, I'll pay double. Whatever's you're buying them for, I'll pay double for them. Those things look sweet, and I'd love to be wearing those on the show. Even though you can't see them, I'll make sure I show you my shoes. Okay.
Yeah. Those will be the only feet that we show on Brewer Territory ever. That is my guarantee to you. But
yes. Thank you for that.
All right. On that note, we will bring this episode of Brewer Territory to an end. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Catch you.